Well, guys, I got this little green ABUS lock from Adrian Weber several years ago when I was visiting him in Germany, and I threw it in the box and I completely forgot about it. And I was digging through, popped up the other day, very cool little lock. If I remember the story right, Adrian told me that these little locks are issued to the German army to lock up their duffel bags and foot lockers in the barracks, things like that. It's got a little tie-down thing. You don't routinely see that on something this small, but that would make sense. You can tie it to the foot locker. And to kind of confirm that story, on the back of here, you see a national stock number as well. So it's at least a government issue lock. I don't know where Adrian got it. You guys got to bring that up with him. Anyway, the nice thing about this, it's got a little weather protector. And when you flip it out of the way, just like that Burg lock I did last week, I think it was, it's got a huge center post blocking access. There's a little bit more room to work around inside of here compared to that Burg, but it's still going to make it kind of nasty to get around. But I do have a key, and these are nice little 5-lever locks. The slider, definitely better than Master Lock, which is what they issued to me many years ago when I was in the Army, needing something to lock up my duffel bag with. So there you go. Again, design is almost identical to that Burg. Let me put this back in here so we can look at that post. Just like the Burg, you can see the tensioning lever on the far left. It's almost like they copied the design. There's a sheet of copper covering up all the levers to prevent us from decoding it. And there's also a cutout in the shackle here for the locking post to go through. And when you flip it around, there you go. There's that locking post. So it's going to be really strong when this thing is secure. You're not just going to pry that out of there. It's going to take pretty serious amount of effort. So let's lock it back up. All right, I do not have an extra key, nor do I know where the nearest ABUS dealer is that would sell these type of keys. So I've got to kind of make do, and I'm kind of lucky because Andy Mack was kind enough to send me a whole bunch of these ERA keys. Now, I found these to be really useful, particularly when we got really wide posts. Now, unfortunately, this one's just a little bit small. It's a little smaller than the original lock, but there's a lot of meat in there. And I was able to drill some of that out. This is a blank. So what I've done is I've taken one, I've drilled out the core a little bit, I've shortened the post, and I filed everything else off. And now, I just checked it a second ago, it fits in perfectly, and I can feel it against the spring tensioner in the back of the lock. So I think I've got the solution here. Let me clamp this up. I will need 2 hands to pick a lever lock. Let me clamp it in the vise, grab a pick, and let's see if we can't pick our way into this German Army lock. All right, that ought to hold it. All right, a couple of things about this guy. It's a very strong spring on this little weather cover. So I've got a little piece of tape here. I'm going to pop this up here like so, and then just use a piece of tape to hold them kind of up out of my way, just like that. That way you should be able to see this. The other thing I would like to show you is these nice keys, very thick part of the bow here. And so what I've done is I filed a slot down this side of it. And the reason I did that, first of all, I'll be able to keep my thumb out of your way now, but it's a nice little guide. So I'm sliding him down there, and I'm able to use that guide so it stays in perfect alignment with those levers just to increase my chances. So let's try it. Let's slide him in. You don't have to put a lot of pressure on these. It's not that strong of a tensioning spring. So slide him in. Put him in the little groove, slide him all the way to back, apply tension. Let's see what we got here. There's one. I got a little false set out of that. Little click there, little number 2. I'm going to leave that one alone. Nice little click there. Nice click there. And there we go. And we got an open on this little German Bundeswehr lock. So now we know how to get into foot lockers. Let me go ahead and pull all this stuff out of here. Know how to get into foot lockers, how to get into duffel bags, everything. There you go, guys. Appreciate your time. Stay safe, stay legal. Adrian, thank you, sir, for this lock so many years ago. Finally got it open. Thanks, guys.